Hey everybody, my name is Albert Corey, but the world knows me as the taxman. For almost 4 decades, we have assisted small business owners to increase their profits so that can achieve their dreams. We worked with almost 16,000 business owners, and today we're on to show you how the wrong business will kill your business. You're not going to get my almost 4 decades of experiences, what type, a little mini course on how to go out and what company you need to go. So the name of our program today is wrong type of entity will kill your business. So now on with the show. This is part of Ninja Profits, where you can build your profits with less capital and stress. So now today we're going to talk about the type of business you can open. There's about 4 types of businesses, and we're going to do a little short preview of each one. If you're watching this on our Facebook pages or YouTube, I always say sharing is caring. So if you're watching this, we would love you to share it with everybody. And I am following you up here. So if everybody has any questions, we would love you to share it. And if you have anybody questions, I am looking at it below, so that on YouTube to see if we can, on Facebook, see if we can answer your questions. So now we're going to go over the different types of businesses. Okay, the first one is a sole proprietor. What a sole proprietor is that you are you, meaning you're a single person. You could have employees. You're a single person. Most likely you're working out of the house. The short version is the good thing is, guess what? There's no startup fees. All right, there's no startup fees. You can just start doing it. Maybe you go make a business card and you start working, you start making money. It goes on to Schedule C. The bad thing could be is that when you're doing everything, you have more liability. I'm not a lawyer, but I have to call a lawyer, but you have liability. So if something breaks and you own a house, they could probably take it from you. You're not standing out in a crowd. So that's it. That's the disadvantage. And you're subject to liability because you're on the hook for everything. So now the second one is a DBA or fictitious name. So depending on what state you're in, by the way, all these things work. It doesn't matter what state you're in. It all pretty much works the same. So you could be a DBA or fictitious name. Here's what a DBA and fictitious name is. It's basically is that you are a person, or you can have a company that when you had doing businesses it's like the best way to describe it is that it's the baby of the parent company. The baby of the parent company. It's a baby of a parent company. So a really good example of this would be General Motors. General Motors is this big company, and we're going to say the big company, and all its DBAs are, Chevy, and GMC trucks and Cadillac. They are what I call kids of the parent company. Now, the good thing is that when you have a DBA, and we're doing things very close, when you take our class, the Ninja Profit Secrets, that will go in everything in more detail and figure out which one's right for you. See, so the good thing is you still have the parent company, but you can make a bunch of little companies underneath it. That's the good thing. So it's not going to cost you more money and opening up more bank accounts. It's not going to cost you more money. You could probably use the same accountant, the same tax return. So that's the good side. The bad thing is guess what? At the end of the day, you're still connected to the parent company. I have a lot of clients who use this because as self-employed sole proprietors, where they didn't want to open up a corporation, but you can use this to change the name. You could use this to change your name. Instead of me being Albert Corey, I could go on and tell people the name of my business is the Taxman. Okay, name of the business is a taxman. Like I said, anybody's have any questions or comment, you could put it below. And like I always tell people, sharing is caring. Now, the next type of business entity is a corporation. You hear this all the time. Corporations are basically the Walmarts, the Office Depots, the Home Depots. It's pretty much a lot of these things that are traded on Wall Street or NASDAQ, or you could be a private corporation. Okay, you could be a private corporation, but it doesn't matter. You're a corporation. Now, the good thing is about a corporation is that guess what? If you open up a company, run a business, if something happens to you, to the company, maybe you don't pay your bills, and I'm going to give you a good example of this in a minute, that guess what? It can't come back to you. If something happens, you closed a business, something happens, somebody gets hurt, somebody sues you, they can't come back to you. That's the good thing. The bad thing is on a corporation, and we did this the other day. The bad thing is when you have a corporation is guess what? Is if you make $100 profits that you got to pay 25% tax. It doesn't matter how much you make, you still got to pay the 25% tax back to the government. That's one thing. Another thing is, which is not that good, is that if you take a loss, a lot of companies have a loss, especially now in covert, you might have a loss. The losses aren't going to transfer back to its shareholders. Shareholders are defined as anybody who has interest in your company. So that's the good thing. Good thing is that you're out there, the business is open, they can't come back to you. The bad thing is that when you make a profit, you pay 25%. And if your company makes a loss, they can't come back. You can't transfer it to the next person. Now, one more we're going to talk about now is an LLC, limited liability company. When you take our Ninja Profits class, Ninja Profits secrets, we'll go over this like a lot more in depth. We will answer all your questions. We do live webinars as part of the coaching. So we'll go over this like everything like real close and perfect as best we can with almost 4 decades of helping people. So limited liability companies, just what it means, limited liability. The background is, the good thing is, okay, it's a company. The good thing is that the profit or loss is transferred to its shareholders, so they don't pay tax. The good thing is, if you're investing in real estate, this is what's good for you. If you have foreign investors, that's also good for you. You can use it for this. Now, some of the bad things is what a lot of people get hung up with on an LLC is you must have two partners. Okay, limited liability companies. So if you open this up, and a lot of people on the web and a lot of these social gurus says open it up, but guess what? If you open up an LLC as a sole member, it goes on your personal tax return. Okay. It will also show Social Security tax. So another thing is if you open up as a single member LLC, what starts to happen is if you start taking a loss, that loss is going to show up big. And if you get a big loss, you're opened up to to getting audited because it's on the Schedule C. Schedule C is a form that's for business sole proprietor businesses that will really, really stand out. So, and that's what's going around. But I think the biggest thing to use this for is if you have foreign investors, if you're going to invest heavy into real estate, that's another really, really big reason why you use this. Yeah, and that's what you do. But funny thing is, if it's real estate, guess what? You won't have to pay the Social Security tax. If you do it as a business, you have to pay Social Security tax on the profit. So it has its good and bad. So if anybody has any questions or comments, you're watching us on Facebook, we're here to answer them for you. Now, this is my favorite one that I recommend to most of my clients. It's called 1120S. Some people refer it as a sub S company. It has, obviously, everything has its good points and bad points. I always recommend, let's go with the good points with this first. I always recommend this for people that are always just doing startups or just out of the box. It doesn't have to have partners. You can be the partner of one. The losses can transfer over to your personal return. If you make a profit, you don't have to pay Social Security tax on the profit. You don't have to pay Social Security tax on the profit. That's a good thing. You don't, the bad parts of this is you can't have foreign investors. You're limited to 14 shareholders. In LLC, you have unlimited shareholders. Another thing is that you can only have assets and income up to $249,499. If you go over more than that, then technically you're supposed to be a sub S. You're supposed to convert it to an LLC or corporation after doing this for almost 4 decades. The IRS isn't really coming after it. This is what I always recommend to my clients. You really only have to do one extra step, which when you have us do it, we can do it for you. So if you're watching this, like I said, sharing is caring. Well, let's see here. Well, that's it for today. Because thank you for joining us. Because now you're staying to the end. We got some pretty awesome gifts we can give you. The first gift we're going to give you is you're going to get our 30 top business tax deductions. These are the same business deductions that almost 16,000 of my business clients have used in the last 4 decades to save millions of dollars on their tax returns. I don't know about you, but I know I don't like paying to the government. I always say give Caesar what Caesar's due. You can get this. It's actually posted below that you can get this by texting taxman to 26786 for your 30 top tax deductions. This is, like I said, which we've been using for almost 4 decades to save our clients millions of dollars. Oops, wrong one here. And now the other gift you're going to get is you're going to get a copy of my Amazon bestseller, The Art of Action. I'm going to put another extra super bonus on here. You're going to get a copy of my book, The Art of Perception. This is how I built my business. Okay, remember, my little backstory was I graduated from University of South Florida in 1982. There was really no work to be had that day. It was one of the real bad economies. If you're watching this, this is being recorded on October 20th, 2020, towards the middle to the end of COVID. So, but back in 82, there was no excuses. So there was no work. So I started working at my parents' motel, cleaning rooms and doing everything. And then one day I was working for her and she goes, "You owe money to the IRS." I go, "But Mom, you don't give me no papers, no W-2. It's like working under the table. So I started working H&R Block. I had somebody comes in the office somebody comes to the office and says, "Will you go to my house to do a tax return?" They say $500. I'm like saying, "Dude, $500. They only pay me $4 an hour." So then I rush home, told my Papa Joe Corey, and Papa Joe Corey says to me, not in one, but in 2 languages, English and Arabic, "Who's ever going to come to you?" And after hearing him tell me off in words that I cannot say to here, I said, "Dad, you're right. Nobody's going to come to Albert Corey. Everybody's going to come to Corey & Associates." So then I went on a mission to go out and get clients. So this is the book of my journey, how I went and built my 7-figure business and spoke on national business stages. So guys, if you have any questions, and you can get this. You can get this by when you text taxman to 26786. You get my book. You get my 30 top business deductions. You're going to get a copy of my book, The Art of Perception, and an extra secret bonus that I'm going to put on. You're going to get a preview copy of our new book, The One Habits, from 150 top entrepreneurs that I collaborated with. And if you just read one habit a day, it would take you the whole year to do, because we have one habit and one habit. Okay. If anybody questions or comments, like I said, you can always put it below and we'll get back to you. If you're watching us on Facebook, hit me up. Yeah, I'm on the right way now. Hit me up on Messenger and we'll get back to you right away. So guys, until we see each other again, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.